Coordinates and grid references are two terms that you will hear used a lot in relation to map reading and navigation. They're often used interchangeably of one another because they mean the same thing, right? They actually mean subtly but importantly different things. If you want to find out what the difference is between the two, keep watching. Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and if you want to improve your bushcraft skills in a simple, no-nonsense way, then please consider subscribing. Regular viewers to my channel will know that almost since the very beginning of my channel, some 3¼ years ago, I've been recording and putting out there videos aimed at map reading and land navigation. They're primarily aimed at people that are just getting started or perhaps need a refresher. However, I've had people of all sorts of experiences leave feedback, positive feedback about those videos. I've delved into all sorts of different areas, but there's been one specific area that I've always shied away from, and that's grid references. I've shied away from them because they can be quite a fine thing to try and teach. I often find that you almost need to be with somebody to truly get the message across and to truly understand whether they understand the message or not. But actually I've been rethinking that philosophy quite recently, and I'm going to embark upon a series of videos, starting with this one, that starts to look at the subject of grid references. But like most things, it's always good to start at the beginning, and that's where we're starting today. Let's talk first about what a coordinate is. A coordinate gives you an exact position. It is a precise location. If I were to take the coordinates of where I am stood right now, if I were to send them to you, if you were to navigate to those coordinates, you would find the position I am stood in right now. It wouldn't be slightly over there or slightly over there or slightly over there or it would be this precise exact location. Let's look at that on the whiteboard. The red dot towards the top centre of the screen, the coordinate is 2, 4. If I went to the coordinate 2, 4, I would arrive or find that red dot. It would be exactly at that coordinate. Same principle, the red triangle, if I went to coordinate 3, 2, I would find that red triangle. I would be in that location there. It is a defined, fixed, specific point. Now we've looked at what a coordinate is, let's look at what a grid reference is. When a coordinate puts you at an exact, precise location, a grid reference puts you inside a grid square. It puts you in an area. Now, the more detailed a grid reference that you are provided with or you give to someone, we'll talk about that in a future video, but the more detailed information in that grid reference, the smaller that square is, the smaller that area is that you are in, but you are still inside an area. Let's take a look at that on the whiteboard. If we look at the red circle this time, it is in grid 2, 3. It is somewhere inside that grid. It's not the precise location like it was with a coordinate. It is somewhere within that square. It could be there or there or there or there, but it is somewhere inside that square. Same down here with the red triangle. It is in square 4, 1. It's somewhere in that square. It is not as precise as the red triangle coordinate that I gave you. It could be there, it could be there, or there, or there, but it is somewhere inside that grid square. Somewhere inside that grid square. It's not an exact location like a coordinate is. Now I just know there will be some people watching this who will say, but hang on a minute, Craig, if I give you a 6-figure grid reference, the square's quite big, it's 100 metres square. If I give you an 8-figure grid reference, it's a 10 metre square. If I give you a 10-figure grid reference, it's a 1 metre square. Please don't be confused if you've never if you've never heard those expressions before. But if somebody gave me a 10-figure grid reference, it would be 1 metre square. Brilliant. Still a metre square. Still not a precise location. Still not the same as a coordinate. It is a bloody small area, yes. It's a really small square, no argument from me, but it's still not a precise coordinate. Which brings me on kind of to the final point of the video. We've learned that a coordinate is a specific, precise location. We've learned that a grid reference is a square, it is an area. I've just briefly alluded to the fact that you can give a grid reference that makes it a really small area, almost an exact location. So the question comes, does it matter? Does it matter that there's a difference between a coordinate and a grid bearing? I'm going to leave that up to you. You answer in the comments below as to whether you think it matters whether there's a grid reference or bearing. But let me share my opinion on that. I think it does matter. I think there is a reason why they're not the same thing. I think that whilst you can, or whilst it is theoretically possible to give grid references that relate to a 1 metre square area, it's not easy to do. It's a skill set that not everybody has. And even if you try to do it yourself, even if you are skilled and try to do it, it relies heavily upon the human eye. It relies heavily upon a human being, you and I, being able to eyeball something into that incredible degree of accuracy. So whilst it is theoretically possible to give a 10-figure grid reference, and lots of people can do it, lots of people can be that accurate, lots of people can't as well. So yes, it is theoretically possible to give a grid reference that is so small that it is almost as good as a coordinate. But even if you can, even if you get it to within 1 square metre, that's still not a precise location. So I think it does matter. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't go anywhere just yet. Most people click off at this point. Don't go anywhere just yet. If you've enjoyed this video, it will be the first of a series of videos in which I am looking at grid references and the related information that sits around that. So keep your eyes peeled for future videos on this coming very, very soon. If you're into navigation, if it floats your boat, even if it doesn't, even if you're not into it, but you want to get into it because you recognise that it's a lacking skill set in your toolbox, then appearing on the screen roundabout now is a playlist of 30 plus videos at the moment on my channel relating to navigation. Thank you as always for watching. Hope you found the video useful, and if you're not yet a subscriber, you know what to do. I'll see you very soon. Take care.